Hey traders, this is John Howell here again, and welcome to another market update. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright. So let's get straight into it. We're going to really rein back the curtains right now. I've deleted everything from the screen. I put just obviously use my stochastics that I normally like to use, my double stochastic, and then I've got a simple 200 moving average on the screen. I'm going to go back to the daily charts. I'm going to go back to the weekly charts. And again, we just got to see exactly what this market's doing. I like to do this sort of once a week. It just restarts my week off on the right footing. Now, firstly, let's actually go back to the weekly chart. Let's actually see where we're at right now. Because remember, us traders, we always need to be flexible in what the market is doing. The market's changing week by week by week. And we need to change with it. We're not just going to stay in the same mode with it, but we're going to change with it. Now, the bigger picture always stays the same, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we need to make sure that we're staying with the actual bigger picture as well too. Like we're staying with the overall picture of what's actually happening with the market. That's actually telling us. So, let's actually talk about this here. Again, I'm going to go back to what the actual market's telling me. So, the first thing I do is I'm bringing this back to an open highlight close. This is a weekly chart. And the first thing I'm just going to do is I'm just going to draw a trend line through there. There's nothing going on through there right now. And if I draw a trend line, I'm just going to connect this top up through there. As you can see, if I just bring it up through there as well, does that do? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just looking at the 200 moving average. Oh, sorry, not 200 moving average. I'm looking at this sort of line through there. And it doesn't look like it's doing much now. So maybe if we have a line through there, we have that through there, but we had that point through there as well too. So I'm trying to see where is my highest point I can take this. So probably, I'd say there's probably something going on through there. So there's something going on through there. Now, but I also can see on this big weekly chart that we also had, let me bring up my trend line drawing tools. We also had a whole bunch of area of support and resistance through there. All right, so let me actually just bring up my box. This is my box, and what happened to my box? My box just disappeared on me. Let's see if I can do it again. Alright, so there we go there. Alright, so there's the box. Oh, it did it again to me. Alright, so let's actually see if we can actually do this now. So, without this box disappearing on me. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. I just restarted my software. So what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm just drawing, because we did have a whole bunch of area resistance down through here. You can see the whole bunch of area support and resistance here, whole bunch of support and resistance here. And you can see the market it did reject it for a while there on the daily chart, but it blew straight up. So now we're continuing up through here. I'm trying to see if there's any support or resistance on this level that we may be running into right now. And if I draw that box through there somewhere, like say through there, I can see in the past that this market's actually had a whole bunch of problems once it's actually, with this whole area through here. And you can see that on this level through here, you can see this whole area basically from there to there. This is the whole resistance level. This was a resistance. I did expect the market to hold here. It actually didn't bounce, and it kept running up through there. So the market's running up, and it's keep running up again, and so that's where we're at right now. We're at this area of major area, or this area of resistance. Now, once we're looking at this, and once we're looking at this chart through here, we can really start to see some big shifts in momentum through here. Now, again, by looking at the bigger long-term charts, guys, and this is really important to understand that the overall charts are still showing these major lower peaks through here, okay, and if it runs up and breaks this 2,100, yeah, then the overall bigger picture view has changed the bullish. There's no doubt about that. So if it fails through here, which I think is going to do, but I'm going to be flexible to markets, then I think then this is where it's really going to start changing the tune of the markets. Make sense? So that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you, is that, especially on this S&P 500, is that they had this big down move, big up move, big down move, and now we're running this level again. Now, one thing I want to show you as well too is that This last move, this retracement here, it wasn't a 50% retracement. What was it? So if I go from the high down through to the low, and you can see here that this was the 62% retracement level. You can see it actually blasted more than the 62% and then failed. So if I edit this here, now I edit the 62%, right, this is the 62%, so I'm just going to edit the 100%, and I'm going to bring that down to where it actually stopped. So around about the 87%. Now I know this is weird, but you know, the market's always forming patterns, okay? So just bear with me here for a minute. So I'm trying to get maybe 85 level. The top there was 87, so let's make it 80, around about the 85. Yeah, 85 to 87 level, which is a bunch of resistance through here as well too. This is where the market stopped. You with me so far? Okay, cool. So you can see here that this level through here was the what we call the 87% level. Now I know this is not a Fibonacci number, and I know it's not anything like that, but what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm showing you what I'm actually seeing in these charts. These charts are actually showing me, okay, it didn't retrace, it retraced more than 62% and then failed. Now, are we likely to do the same thing? Now, if I bring up from the high point through here to the low point through here, we actually can see that we have a little bit more upside if we did the exact same retracement and then a drop down through here right now. So it's very, very, very important to show you that, because the last time we retraced a lot more than 62% and then we had a drop down. I'm looking on the weekly chart. Now looking on the daily chart, if we go to the daily chart, we actually can see that this obviously is above the 200 moving average, and it does look like, guys, it does look like right now that it's trying to at least have a little bit more up move into this area. You can see this short-term little resistance through here. This is where the market actually may be trying to run to right now. So yeah, so you can see how the market's trying to run up to there. So that's maybe a short-term target through there where it is right now. So, but remember, guys, is that the market may continue up through here, or it may start the pullback here. We don't know when the pullback's going to happen, and right now I wouldn't be shorting the market right here. Long term, I'm definitely short on the market. Long term, I'm definitely short on the market. But meaning I've got, you know, what happens over the next 6 months, that is. But over the next couple of days, we don't know when this turn's going to happen. So I wouldn't be buying it here, or I wouldn't be shorting it here. The reason why I wouldn't be buying it here is because it looks like even maybe for a little update, we may start to get some turnaround. We may, okay, it may start to blast straight through as well too. So that's basically what we're looking at there on this resistance level. Now we may get a little more upside, but I think we're likely to start getting a pullback real soon. Now again, guys, this market has been so strong in this markets that that again, I wouldn't be buying it because the market's so extended. I wouldn't be shorting it because the market has been strong, and it may, it may continue up. But there's just a few areas that the market may want to run into as resistance levels, and looking at that. So that's those areas there, and it looks like that it may actually have a little bit more upside running into these resistance levels, and then maybe that's where it starts failing and we start to have another lower low. Because remember, guys, you can see here, right? You can see on this level through here that this market had a big drop down, had a good retracement, then had a lower low, and it's had a good retracement again. Is the next lower low down here? Is that what's likely to happen? So you can see that's what's happening through there. Same thing on the Dow Jones chart as well too. If you have a look at this actual trend line through here on this weekly chart, you can see we're actually at that level right now as we speak. So I go back to the daily chart. You can see we're actually at this long-term resistance line coming down through here. There we go, through there. You can see we're actually basically right at that level right now, and again, very, 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 very extended to the high side. So definitely not a buyer in these markets, and is this market going to continue high and running into this and have another little run to these little short-term resistance levels, or are you going to start failing here? That's yet to be seen. Looking on the Russell. The Russell is definitely trying to make maybe another little update into this area of this sort of band through here, which has been this. If I bring up the weekly chart, you can see this has been the once, twice, 3 areas where the weekly charts had a problem with. So if we get a little bit more upside into the Russell, we're likely to start getting this area of resistance, and that's where we're at right now. Again, guys, and the Russell's been a lot weaker than everything else as well too. And obviously the one that I'm really bearish on is obviously the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has been the weakest. It hasn't even had a decent rally like all the others have. And so looking at that, to me the Nasdaq is the weakest, and the Nasdaq looks like it may want to start running into this area of resistance through here. So if we look at the Fibonacci retracement again, you actually can see it's running into that area of 62%. So it may stall here, and then we also have a lot of support and resistance from there all the way up through to there as well too on the Nasdaq. So a little bit more upside, maybe 1 or 2% more upside, and we definitely start to run in, especially into the 200 moving average on that as well too. So there we go, guys. There's a little market update for me. Right now, guys, bigger picture is still very bearish. I'm staying in that bear camp. But the short term, guys, the short term on these daily charts, it looks like the market may want to have a little bit more upside before it starts to get that turnaround. But again, guys, I'm in a situation right now, guys, where I'm waiting for the pullback, and we just don't know when that's going to happen. When is it going to happen is obviously the big question, and that's exactly what I'm looking for right now. But the best thing about the way I trade is I don't care whether the market goes up or down. I'm going to do well overall. Hey, it's Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.